We're now live, waiting for this to load up. But there we go. Hopefully it loads up this time and it doesn't crash. Apparently we have a PDS tornado warning, probably because of this thing here. Heading for tranquil. Soon it's not gonna be very tranquil. Yeah, that's the tornado. That is the tornado, and that is very textbook on. The rotation looks like a weirdly colored Pokeball. That's what it looks like. It looks like a Pokeball. Um, that's a very interesting color scheme with that. But yeah, we got Tranquil, which happens to be a name of a Pokemon too, by the way. And yeah, it's not going to be very tranquil as this thing comes through. Lake Monroe East Subdivision, you're going to want to take shelter. Cotton Hill Gin Estates, take shelter. Amory, this is heading right for you. And just by what I'm seeing here, this is quite the town. Quite a sizable town here. And we have the Merritt Health Gilmore Hospital. And we also have a regional museum, but that's probably closed right now due to just the timing of day. But still, that's going to be a situation. Hopefully they don't have that tablet thing that makes things go come to life. I don't know why I made the museum reference, but whatever. Anyways, right now we're just going through a lot of issues right now. Let's go reflectivity to actually see this thing. Oh, yeah, textbook hook. Well, definitely the hook echo right now. And this thing is definitely going to be rain wrapped, so... Plus, it's 11 o'clock at night, so you're not going to be able to see it anyways. Even if it wasn't rain wrapped, you won't be able to see it. But yeah, like I said, looks like a Pokeball. So, definitely textbook. Wonder what it looks like under winter weather. Oh, yeah, you definitely see that a little bit better on the winter weather radar for some reason. I don't know why it is. It just works. It just works. Um, but yeah, this is green. This is an interesting color. So this is definitely a strong one. Oh, where'd it go? I went through Tranquil. That's where it went. Um, but yeah, this thing's definitely been on the ground for a hot minute. Let's see what it was last. Oh, that's where it popped up. It, it hit Egypt, which is why we got that going on. Now we got going through Tranquil. Um, that's where I got the CC drop from, was Egypt. So, yeah, we're definitely looking at some nasty system. This is not a good time for this area, for sure. Um, but yeah, this thing just blew up, for sure. Apologize for that timing, but had to be done. Um, but yeah. Is this the only tornado warning? No, there's one other. Um, I don't know why this is labeled radar indicated. It's just not up to date. The other warning is in Alabama. Um, and it's going through Florence, and I'd say at this point, can just assume it's confirmed. Um, but yeah, that's what we're looking at. At least as they're both using the same radar, so it makes things easy. But doesn't help that they're going after heavily populated areas, especially Florence up there. Um, but yeah, just waiting for this to update. Everything else has updated somewhat. Yeah, that has updated more. We have to. Oh, this went tornado emergency. Okay, this is one tornado emergency. Um, third one of the night. No, fourth one of the night. This is the fourth one of the night. But yeah. Man, this is when you start looking beyond. Detroit, this is heading for right for you, by the way. And again, for those of you who complain about this interrupting your precious basketball games, nobody cares. Get ESPN Plus, watch it there. Problem solved. Anyways, um, yeah, for now, there was other people, anarchist, um, people come and go, but plus I haven't been live that long, anyways. But still, this is a very dangerous situation, nonetheless. Um, but yeah. Anyways, plus it's not hitting Amory yet. I didn't even notice Smithville there. Okay. Smithville, you might want to take shelter as well. But yeah, this is heading right for Amory. It's in right on top of Amory. Yeah, it's right on top of Amory. Did the rotation update? No, it didn't. This is a problem with the geomagnetic issues. It messes with the radars. So you have to rely on this. I'm not sure this updated yet. Okay, it did. Okay, we're good. So, cool. But this, you could actually see, like, the debris field with it. Possibly a wedge. Yeah, a wedge is involved. But yeah, this neighborhood, this whole area here is going to get hit. Highland Park, Colonial Acres, I'm expecting a direct hit. And there's a golf course. And the high school. The high school is directly in the path of this. Let's be happy school's not in session. Right now. But I think your spring break probably just got extended. Assuming you guys were on spring break or going into it or something. But yeah, your spring break's gonna get extended for sure. Maybe even early summer at this point. Because after this goes through, it's gonna take a while to rebuild the high school. I did not want to go into full screen. The debris field got bigger. It's the size of Amory. Well, the debris field appears to be the size of Amory. So yeah, this is definitely not good. Got the waterway here. Masonic Cemetery. The Memorial Park, which I think is another cemetery. I could be wrong. But yeah. That's the gist of it. For now. Well, I'm gonna stay alive until this thing is no longer on the ground. So. Yeah. Yeah, I got... Oh, Flynn as well. Okay. Yeah, Flynn, Smithville. That's the high school. So, just by the debris field, probably just narrowly dodged the high school. But there's still gonna be damage to it. Um, I want the rotation to fix itself. It kind of did. Still kind of out of date, considering what the CC drop is pushing for. Um, but yeah. And reflectivity. Yeah, this thing is definitely wrapping in some more rain. So it's going to be even harder to see. I think that just updated. I could be wrong. But at least it's getting caught up. But, yeah. Oh, there's a community center. That's definitely going to take some damage there. Got a boat ramp. Is there a lake here? I know there's a waterway, but is there like a lake or something? I'm curious. Can't really see anything on ground level with this here. Like, you have to go away from the storms to see anything, and like this is where you gotta go to see stuff. And even then, it's hard. And it's heading in that direction, anyways. So if you're there, you might want to take shelter. But it looks like it's gonna try to stay south of Flynn, but could still see some impacts. We got all this over here. Smithville, it's gonna run just to the south, but that doesn't mean anything because there's still homes all along here. Gap Road, it's definitely gonna look like there's a big old gap after this thing is done. That's interesting. There's something trying to pop up there. If anything, I don't know. If anything, that might just be hail related. But yeah. We got Tehran, also gonna try to stay to the south of that. Still gonna be impacts to many communities. And I wouldn't be surprised if this gets extended into Alabama. Impacts, well, Detroit's over in this area. It's probably going to go to the north of Detroit. We do have a tornado warning issued. Hackleburg. That seems to be the next major community in the path of this. So, yeah. This is a whole situation, though. Again, winter weather radar, for some reason, is out of date, but it does pick up the rotation at that time. Velocity is finally up to date. But that means this is probably further ahead. And I was right about that. Okay. I think the Winona tornado started doing this crap here. Just fully charged. What am I doing? Just gotta get water real quick. But yeah. It's gonna be just to the south of Smithville, but there is homes in the path. So but we are definitely gonna be cutting it close. Smithville. So if you don't feel safe, take shelter. But yeah. Basically, if you're in between these two white lines, you're definitely gonna want to take shelter. Kind of Kind of not parallel. I realize it's not parallel, but get the gist of it. If you're between those two lines, you're gonna want to take shelter. Um, Immediately. And that goes for beyond the tornado emergency concern. There is a tornado warning, probably PDS, that continues on beyond that. But I'm also saying, like, maybe Shady Grove, you might want to take shelter as well. Um, yeah, extra time to do so. So I recommend taking advantage of that. And doing so. So, yeah. Um, yeah, again, if anyone has any questions on what's going on here, just let me know. I'll do the best of my ability to answer. So, but just having this here to, but it fits snugly between those two lines. Um, Pretty snug between those two lines, at least at this time. Um, but yeah. Um, but yeah, this is a very dangerous. Oh, now it no longer fits between those two lines. It fits between those lines. So if you're between the northern line and the southern line, you're gonna want to take shelter. Um, we got Tron. You're gonna want to take shelter. Looks like this thing picked up a bit more from Smithville than I anticipated. Um, got Cowley Curve. Not really curved, but okay. Um, we got all this over here. More neighborhoods. Um, but yeah, this is not a good sign. Um, that is not as busted as it was over here when it was looking like a Pokeball. Yeah, the rotation was looking like a Pokeball earlier. So that is a good sign, but the tornado is clearly still on the ground, otherwise we wouldn't be at the tornado emergency. But if the rotation is trying to weaken, that could be a good sign if we want the tornado to die, which I'm sure we do. So, because it's been a pretty interesting night. Oh yeah, that's looks like it's killing over. So that's a welcome sign, I'm sure. Got New Salem to the north. You're fine. This has gone past to your south, and you should be fine. Camity, you're in the same boat. Riggins is going to be to your north. Parham, Bristow, that's to your north. Splunge, interesting name. But yeah, we got Mormon Springs. We got the radar right here at Wise Gap. So that could also be why this is looking a bit interesting. More now, it's a bit more comma apostrophe situation because now we're north of the radar, and the color scheme is going to be different as we go further north to the northeast. That's an interesting setup there, but we'll see what that looks like in here. Empty. So, back to velocity. But yeah, It looks a little bit further north. So maybe, Tron, you're going to want to take shelter. You're on the edge of this. So yeah, definitely take shelter. Um, Trying to wait for CC. There we go. Should update soon. Um, but yeah. But yeah, this is a whole situation. But that looks like it is trying to weaken. Or again, what I've seen before with the other tornado emergency situation, it usually just means that it is not picking up stuff, as it doesn't have access to stuff to pick up. But it does have access to stuff to pick up, so may actually be a sign of it trying to weaken, which would be good in that regard. Um, but as long as this is tornado emergency and there's a CC drop and there's clear rotation, I'm staying live. As much as my body is trying to get me to fall asleep. So yeah, once this live ends, I'll probably get Strongest Quake a Day done and go to sleep. For those that are regulars here, that's probably what's going to happen. Because I do have some stuff in the morning and stuff, and yeah. Do we have a Flash Flood? And there's a Flash Flood warning too. So, getting underground is probably not the best option. Um, but it's like a tale of lesser two evils. Would you rather get dismembered by a tornado, or would you rather drown in your basement? Like, I don't know how this is gonna work in that regard. But that's why I say if you're not able to get in the ground, usually the main thing would be if it's you just don't have a basement. Not taking into account that the basement's probably flooded. Um, so that's when you just go for the interior room, like a bathroom, closet, laundry room, pantry. That's where that comes in. If you do have a basement, but it's underwater for some reason. So yeah, that's a situation. Um, but basically, as soon as the tornado passes you, you gotta get to higher ground, if possible. Although if you have ample scuba gear, then yeah, get underground. And the flooding won't be much of an issue. Just make sure you have power off in your home during the time. Although I'm sure this thing probably just knocked out the power, so that's not an issue. So you don't get electrocuted. But yeah. Either way, yeah, this is a whole interesting situation. Um, but this tornado's still there. It may be trying to rope out, and hopefully that means it's getting ready to just kaput. But this tornado warning will likely still exist as this thing passes through. The tornado emergency, I think at this point they're just gonna let that expire. Let this pass through, and then they'll probably get rid of it as it's no longer in the area. Um, but yeah. We got a lot of, this is popping up more. That's the one in Florence. This is the Observe. This is the one that this is going into. Um, but yeah. But looks to be dying, which is a good sign. Oh, not dying. Not dying. It looks nasty. In that case, it's a case of it just leaving it, not hitting stuff. Um, but yeah. This ain't dying. It's just not hitting anything to create a CC drop. But thinking the rotation could still be there without the tornado on the ground. Pulling up what went over the radar, that did clear that up. Um, but yeah, we got some interesting stuff. Got a little bit of training going on. That's probably where the flooding is coming in, and probably why it's coming in. We also got a bit more lightning on the south. There's kind of like a line there, so I guess we could see a little bit of like the uh, progression of this thing. Um, Waiting for the new update here. There we go. Yeah, it is trying to die down, but I think it's probably just more or less its position compared to the radar. That's why it looks a bit more profound. So just waiting for this to update and other stuff to update. But yeah. How long has this been going on in terms of... I've been live pushing 26 minutes, pushing half hour. This thing's been on the ground a little bit longer than that. So we're probably looking at another hour-long tornado here, maybe. Because you also got to take into account how long it's been on the ground before it got discovered. Before it got caught, you know. So I just got to take that into account. But yeah. But yeah. It's a very interesting situation. I wasn't aware a new tornado watch popped up in Alabama. Oops. Alabama, Tennessee. This goes on for about pushing 6 hours. Anyways, getting back into this. Oh. Okay, so they're dropping the tornado emergency by the looks of it. I don't know why they have a whole 16 minutes on it. This is gonna be gone in there in the next view, so they could just drop it. But yeah, I think they're going with the fact that this is dying down. It's gone. It's gone. So yeah, they're just letting this expire, which it did. And the rotation's gonna go in here. It's gonna do its thing. And it's probably gonna fizzle out. Yeah. And this extra warning here was not necessary. But as is, like I said, once I got pretty much confirmation that it's gone, and well, no CC drop kind of tells me that it's gone. Sure, there's still a little bit of a CC drop, but that's usually like that's a sign that it's lifted and the debris is starting to fall. So at that rate, I'm just gonna sign off for the night. Well, at least for this stream. And yeah, stay safe out there. See you in the next video or stream. Bye.